Okay, Potter's Journal. It is summer reads time. Picasso, painter and sculptor in clay. Be doing a book review today. This is a double feature. I will also be making on the Potter's Wheel some Madura Pottery jugs, influenced in multiple pieces by the pots made at the Madura Pottery where Picasso worked in Vallauris, southern France. So here we are, pretending we're on the Mediterranean. Okay, this is not my pool. This is the neighbor's. I saw the car go out, so I snuck in. It's quiet around here in the country, so I'll listen for a car coming back, and I may have to get out of here really fast. I'm going to be making a Madura Pottery style jug. And maybe nothing like theirs, but just breaking away from the American stoneware jugs that I've been doing. I found the book at a a half-price books where they have both used and new books. This one was new. I remember years ago going to school, seeing Picasso ceramic books in the library, maybe one or two different ones, I don't know, and always watched for one to show up somewhere. Now you could get anything off the internet, but yeah, it finally showed up in half-price books. I didn't know what I had. I was thinking maybe is this one of the old books that I saw years ago, but it's put together as a catalog with a show, and I had thought it was just a catalog from a show, but did turn out to be an actual book. There were 3 nice essays in it. In addition to that, in addition to the illustrations, beautiful pictures, full page. This is all in an attempt to hide the fact that I don't feel very comfortable throwing. So maybe we'll cover that up by talking about the book. Or if you did come for a great book review and you were expecting some highly intellectualized person talking about it, well, surprise, surprise. So maybe I won't fool anybody here. But just, yeah, simple potter's thoughts. But yeah, no, not just a picture book, not just a catalog. It had 3 nice essays in the front. And one by the editor. Let's see, what was her name? She was Marilyn McCulley, and she went into a real nice detail on his early works, even pre-Madura pottery, and discovering it and settling in, and then looking at his early works and saying how this may have predicted some of what was to come, and explained the many different ways he worked, you know, from just decorating pieces to carving in them to completely sculpting them to having pieces specially thrown and then putting them together. I think her section was the longest and really gave the best insight into his ceramics. And actually, in her notes in the end, which I didn't realize, she the pieces in the book were all one-of-a-kind pieces that on the internet, they're on YouTube. There's a lot about the addition ceramics, pieces that yeah, were designed and came out of a mold and then were hand painted according to his original prototype. They have a bit of a watered down look to them because they did need to come out of a mold. You know, they weren't his hand completely sculpted where he'd take a vase and go like that and out came a dove. Yeah, so the book, yeah, all one-of-a-kind pieces. And then one of the essays was by let's see, used his mother's name, I believe, Ruiz Picasso, a grandson. Let's see, it was Bernard. And that one was short, and I'm reading it, and this is kind of lyrical, this is kind of poetical, and then found out who he was, that, yeah, he was a poet, so that explained that part. And when collaring this in, this is kicking out a bit here. Sometimes I'm able to hold that in while collaring it in the top, and even putting a finger on the inside to do this. And it depends on the size of the piece, whether you're able to do that or not. And the other essay, Claude Picasso, that, yeah, that one was really nice. That, he was putting his father up on a pedestal, but not saying, look at my father up on the pedestal, but looking at other artists and their ceramic work and actually placing him in a timeline of history. Yeah, fun to, you know, read the words, my father, in the description of his work. That, he's the one that, yeah, I think the famous monkey with the car head that, you know, he's been quoted and heard in interviews saying that my father took my toys and he played with them and turned them into a sculpture. Okay, so yeah, that was fun to hear things in his words. Okay, I can then undercut this a bit with the rib and round that off a bit. And yeah, the Madura jug that I think I started, you know, the idea from was one of the addition pieces. But I don't think any of the ones I've made so far are anything like them, but they're, you know, more Mediterranean inspired than, as I said, the American whiskey jugs I've been making. Finishing this one off might not be that pretty. It's going to be closed in like the Batijo. Speaking of which, one section in the very back of the book that might have gone unread or unnoticed, there was an entries and glossary of terms where I described yeah, this is some of the technique, whether pieces, the material, white earthenware most often, slip and oxide decorated, sometimes partially glazed, the method of forming, molded, carved, sculpted, and the piece I'm making, I will make what's called a donut or a ring jug next to go on the top of this, was termed an Aztec vase, and I had seen these researching Picasso stuff last year in the Madura Pottery, yeah, the books of it, and then a friend had loaned me a book on pre-Columbian pottery, and I was fascinated by the idea that, oh, this thing has appeared in two different cultures, but then found out that the Madura pieces were inspired by the pre-Columbian. Okay, and this, because this is not now very much out of center up here, it's making it difficult to close this in. And I didn't know this was a term, but either read or heard this somewhere. It's going all Picasso on us. And that's something that could be worked on, but not real easy with this. Yeah, closing this in the same way you would with the Botijo, the Spanish water jug, despite yeah, Picasso being Spanish, the Madura pottery was in France, so they called this either I think it was how they term it. I think they call it a French water jug or Mediterranean. Okay. And this might work better too by cutting unevenness off. Okay, here we go again, and getting a fresh start at it. So we'll put this all together in the next video. Let's see if we can get this closed in with the one finger inside to support, down here to support the sides from kicking out too much, and yeah, another section, since we're approaching the end, in the back of the book that usually might have went unnoticed or unlooked at, exhibit, list of exhibits. Well, what could be exciting there? In 1970, no, 1980, 19 what? I don't remember. The show in the Museum of Modern Art, roughly about 10 years after he died. When I guess things finally were settled enough, they could have been completely emptied out the entire museum for this show. I think, yeah, and I was, what, around 19 or so then, and managed to see, travel to New York to see the show. And there were certainly ceramics there at the time, but at the time I didn't notice it. Okay, and now we've got that filled with air, so that helps to support it a little bit. We can push this down and make sure we got a good seal. This top part of the Aztec vase is a double-walled. I've already done this in another video called the Donut Jug, making pottery pumpkin donuts. I'll put a link up to that. I find it easier to bring up the inner wall, taller than the outer wall, because it is more difficult to bring the outer wall in and easier to bring the inner wall out. I think I need a little more height on it, so I'm stretching it out a bit, and then we'll see if we can close it down. So much he did, revolutionary. Would there still been contemporary ceramics without him? Would there still have been a Peter Volkas? Yeah. It's all fun to look at. A lot of his pieces were assembled, made, thrown, assembled. Okay, I could have had a little more height on both of these this time, because I'm having trouble stretching them to meet. So. And this is a trick pot. This is something the potters would do at the end of the day to show off. Would like to be. Okay, Picasso in the Madura studio. Somebody else to do the throwing, and then you could just play with the pieces. And that's something I would have liked to, read more about. So what was it like? What was it like for him to, come into the studio and to work there? That was the only thing that, I'd have liked to see more of and might have been lacking. Okay, so we've got our donut. This will go on the top. Stop back in the next video, and we will put this all together. So stop back in the next video. We will put that together. I still need to make the top of the vase and the handles. And also, putting that together in the next video, I will review ceramics, Picasso Ceramics by George Ramier. It was his pottery, the Madura Pottery in Vallauris, where Picasso worked. So, okay, I think before I get caught here in the neighbor's pool, I will try to get a couple laps in. Okay, great trip out on the Mediterranean.